he built a fire engine for a boat to go up and down the Nile in order to pump Nile water out to extinguish fires in towns. He was extraordinary. Now, the other thing that he did was, of course, the balloons. One of the first things that they happened, that as a celebration of the French New Year, which is in September, and of course the opening of the great Khalij al-Masri in Cairo, their great canal. It's a celebratory event. They would open the sluices and the Nile would flow and fill the canal and fill up all the ponds and irrigation systems in Cairo. But also the Nile was in flood. They tried to do a balloon ascendancy, a balloon trip to show all the people what France could do. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. But on the right, you see a part of Comte's work. That balloon in the painting is the very first use of aircraft in battle in history. It is an artillery spotting balloon at the Battle of Fleurus in 1797. This is relevant in a way to the fact that Comte has a bandage on his, covering his eye. It was damaged in an explosion in the chemistry lab. If he were depicted with his laboratory assistant on the other side of him, he'd have a bandage covering the other eye because he was on the other side of the explosion. That lab assistant was Pierre-François Xavier Bouchard, and he is the man who discovered the Rosetta Stone in the ground. So Comte, the savants, all of them, they're all interwoven in this extraordinary story. I think we see some more now.
Yes, Jonathan, just regarding the balloon, what did they throw from that balloon?
No, they didn't actually use it to drop ordnance. It was to spot for the artillery. And then they would use semaphore or indeed mirror signal to say, correct your line of fire. If you hark back to trench warfare in 1914 and 1915, the first use of aircraft was not as aggressive bombers or even fighters. It was just reconnaissance artillery spotting because they were fixated on their artillery. Is the only way to shift the enemy.
And so before we started to record, you explained also the word regarding astronaut. And could you just tell us something?
Yes, that's right. So to Comte and the savants, this was the Escadron Aéronautique. So this was the aeronautical squadron. So if you were a balloonist,